Hey, Joey.
Hey, good morning, Jesse. What's going on,
Good.
man?
Not much.
So, we got a coworker in Orlando. Do you think he was able to see the rocket launch?
Probably. Yeah, I mean it was huge. I mean,
Uh,
from what I could tell, I mean it looked like an absolute insane amount of yeah, just smoke and stuff.
yeah,
Like
I
it just
guess
it looked way
hopefully he was
different than I was expecting.
hopefully he was able to see like the contrail at least. Might not see the rocket from that far, but
Yeah.
be
Is
very
it did
cool.
it launch from Orlando? Is that where it launched from? I didn't pay attention to
Yeah,
where it
it's
launched
the
from.
Kennedy Space Center,
Okay.
which
I
is
figured it did, but I wasn't
yeah,
sure if it did.
right, right.
Yeah, I know. Joe will know. Joe's a big space
Oh
nerd.
yeah,
I feel
totally,
like
totally.
if he joins, he'll know everything about it. Meanwhile I had to Google what the current mission was because I knew that the Artemis program was moon based, but I wasn't really sure whether it was going to like land or not. But I guess they're gonna slingshot
We
around
landed on the
come back.
moon.
Yeah, but they're gonna not this time. I think that's maybe Artemis 3 or something.
Yeah,
But they're just gonna swing on by at some crazy speed.
yeah.
We'll see if anyone shows up. Um, I'll give them one more minute and then we'll just zoom through the agenda.
Cool. Oh, I think I kind of messed up the doc. I had actually created today's date. Let me move my agenda down and delete that.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I didn't see your changes.
No,
That's my bad.
all good, man. No, no, it's all good. I'll delete mine here.
I don't know who did
Uh,
it first.
I did it yesterday because I wanted to put some
Oh,
agenda
okay.
on
Yeah,
there,
I
but
should have noticed it, but
it's
I didn't.
good. No worries, no worries.
I always just do add today, and I don't even know what today's date was. So,
Well, it's easier than what I did. I copied and pasted.
yeah, no, no. All right. Well, let's just go ahead and get started. I guess I will share my screen just for
Cool.
uh, yeah, just for the recording's sake. Should be able to see now. All right. Yeah, April 2nd. No new attendees. Everyone has signed in. It's just me and Joey. Oh, there's Terrence.
And
He's joining
Terrence,
as well. No new faces. Let's look at. Let me. Oh, that's not what I want. It's fine. I will do. Open these. You can still see, right, Joey?
yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Just
you're
making
sharing
sure I
your whole
can see the
browser.
right thing. There's nothing in any of these lists, so nothing to talk about there. The TOC update, there were no notes that last time, unless Terrence has anything to add, and that's probably
Uh,
nothing.
Cool.
this thing that's blocking us from our conversations at
You sound like you're
no.
maybe on the wrong mic or something. You sound
Yeah, you
way
sound
different.
slightly robotic.
Test, test.
There you
Much
go.
better.
That sounds much better. I don't know what mic it was, but it was insane.
It's probably the built-in laptop mic.
Is it like in a cabinet somewhere? It was so echoey.
Or right in front of your face.
Yeah, yeah, one or
No,
the
it's
other.
just like to my side of my face. It's not in
It's
front
a
of me.
really low quality mic because it sounded horrible. Anyway, nice.
I was saying that the from KubeCon, we met with the TOC to continue conversations on graduation, and um, the biggest blocker is with regards to the diversity on our
Mhm.
TOC. Uh, and so I think we're investigating what we can do about that, and potentially uh, we were discussing like changes to what what the TOC I think does or serves
Sure.
to some degree, to try to, I guess, get folks like Google and Paketo and other places that are actually heavily invested in build packs, but maybe aren't kind of doing things via the maintainer route.
Gotcha. Okay. Makes sense to me. And we have one agenda item, Bill Pack Registry Index. Joey, you want to chat about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Um, so yeah, we've got most of the work items documented for the Artifact Hub migration. And so I wanted to just kind of share that I created a Slack channel yeah, that one right there. Created a Slack channel to try to just kind of make sure that people can have a place to find out what's going on. I know the build pack authors are probably the most invested in this. So I want to make sure that, at least the build pack authors that are going to be migrating from um, the registry index, the build packs registry index to Artifact Hub, have a place to um, ask me questions, and I can kind of ping folks, and there might be long running discussions. I I created this room. I didn't find a Slack room for just like build pack authors. There is a room for build pack maintainers, but I didn't didn't think that was the same. I mean, there's a lot of overlap.
Yeah.
Um, so anyway, I've created this Slack room, and there is a canvas in there. And I don't know if you're sharing your screen, Jesse, you don't necessarily
Yep.
need to, but yep. So there's a canvas in there um, on one of the tabs that has kind of the work overview. That's kind of like, going to be a running to-do list. I expect this channel will be either decommissioned when the work is done, or I could see it being long-lived in case, people are having issues with the Artifact Hub integration. Um, but I think it's probably superfluous after the whole migration is completed. Um, but anyway, so I am going to, I wanted to have this kind of announcement on the agenda here for this meeting, but I'm going to be pulling in the authors that I'm aware of. Um, our friends from Paketo I've brought in there. Um, Ed from Heroku I've brought in there. And then I'm going to see if there's any interest from folks that aren't necessarily migrating from the registry index, but like I figure the Google folks might be interested in this. They've got their own, um, their own way of distributing build packs. They don't use the registry index. Um, but yeah, so that's the plan is that we can, we're at a point where we can start cranking out work. Um, there is quite a bit of work to kind of prepare for like the actual release or announcement of build pack integrations. We're hoping we could. I've been talking with Joe Kuttner. We're hoping that we can kind of hit the ground running so that when Artifact Hub does start supporting build packs and builders, ideally the Heroku and Paketo ones at the very least are going to be ready to get tracked and should be kind of ready to go as soon as that integration is um, released on the Artifact Hub side.
Is
Nice.
there work to plug into the uh build pack register command somewhere to tell people?
Is that in the pack CLI, Terrence?
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So basically, there is one of the kind of phase one things that's like kind of preparing for this is doing the work, not necessarily merging it into pack yet. I think we can kind of try to release all these things somewhat in the same bounded time frame of a couple of days. But yes, so that's going to be kind of two phases. I'm thinking that we can put a warning in while we have the ability to publish to either the registry index or Artifact Hub. I want to get a warning in the pack CLI. Excuse me. And then when we remove the publishing capabilities to the registry index, then we will remove that capability from pack. And if anybody is still, if anybody's using an old version of pack, um, my plan is that we will have changed the, excuse me, we will change the behavior of the bot that's in the registry index so that, any new issues, um, the issue process we use for publishing, those will be automatically declined with a link to the documentation for how we're doing it going forward. Does that answer your question, Terrence?
Yeah. Do people actually actively go to GitHub when the registry fails?
I don't know. I don't know because I would assume the creating the issue would work. Excuse me. And that's kind of an asynchronous process. So I guess there wouldn't necessarily be the feedback in the CLI. I could be mistaken. I can find that out. Um, right now you may be aware the build pack publishing in pack is considered an experimental feature, um, which makes me feel a little bit better about, ripping it out. Yep.
What is the normal publish flow if you're
Um,
using pack publish?
yeah, so there is a GitHub action that CNB maintains. I don't know. I don't know exactly who uses that. I think Paketo uses that for sure. Not 100% sure if Heroku uses that, but there is an implementation of a GitHub action that will open up an issue, and we will have a paved path. We'll create another kind of reference implementation GitHub action that will do the publishing for this new world.
I see. Registry doesn't take versions into account mostly.
Registry doesn't take versions into account. What do you mean by that?
If I publish a, how does it get the latest version? There's a, I guess, a thing that pulls it normally.
Yeah, so my understanding is that when you submit an issue, excuse me, to that repository, if it's formatted correctly, one of those fields that it accepts is the version. And yeah, that bot will add it to the repository.
Um, but you only register on the first, or do you register on each version?
What do you mean by register? Are you talking
The
about
little
the
register command,
namespace?
build pack build pack register. It's definitely been a while since I've looked through these code paths.
Yeah.
There's like pack build pack register, right? Which I think when
Hmm.
you're doing a new build pack, it goes through, creates the issue. There's the bot, and then you basically claim like the namespace and other things. It's if it's your first time and if it's available.
Yeah.
Um, and then, but every time you publish a build pack, like it has a list of versions. I assume, I'm pretty sure you don't register a new version each time. Like once it's registered the first time, you're not registering a new version.
Not, excuse me, I'm not 100% sure, but there's not, I don't know what other command you would use in the CLI. I can track that down. Was there was there an angle you're getting at there with that, Terrence?
Uh,
Like a concern or something?
I think there's a GitHub action that deals with all this stuff.
Mhm. There is. I can get a link for that if you want, because that was one of the things that the one of the folks from Paketo was interested in making sure that we had, you know, a replacement GitHub action, um, and interested in collaborating on that. So that's the workflow. No, there is actually a repository for GitHub Actions. This is what I'm kind of talking about.
So do all these people create an issue by hand with a bot?
I presume they're mostly using the PEC CLI. Believe that's what our
Yeah,
documentation
Pack
has.
CLI might actually create the issue for you or something like that,
When
or
you
open it up
Yeah,
so that you can click create or something. Or
when
there
you
might
do
be a
register,
template.
perhaps.
Yeah, there might be like an issue template or something that it links you to. I've got to bounce, but y'all can continue talking if you would
Yeah.
like. There was nothing else on the agenda, so do let me know async if there's anything else you need. I'm out of town this weekend, so I will be back on Wednesday next week. So see you then.
Cool. All right. See you, Jesse.
seriously Publish, register. I guess you just register each time. That's what it looks
That's what
like.
I'm thinking. I don't have like a reference build pack. Yeah, this is the documentation I was talking about. Yeah. Okay, so well, that's good to know that it when you do that build pack register, it opens up GitHub in the browser. So it's not like it uses your GitHub token or whatever to create it on your behalf. So that would be potentially more synchronous of an operation.
Right, and I assume the bots just automate this.
Yeah, the bot automates sucking in that data and committing it to the repo. Yeah.
As part of migration, are you gonna dual write?
Yes. Um, now, I am not planning on supporting dual publishing. That is to say that like once you basically you can publish to either Artifact Hub or the registry index. Um, but the way we're planning on doing the double writing is that everything will exist um, in the registry index as it does today. And then when there is data in Artifact Hub, that data will take precedence over any packages that exist in both places. So let's say if you've got version, 1.1, 1.2, 1.3 that exist in the registry index today, if you then create a build pack with the same namespace, or in Artifact Hub, that would be repository. But if you create it with the same namespace and name and version, that will take precedence so that if you publish, version 1.3 of your build pack only to Artifact Hub, um, only version 1.3 will be overwritten by the data from Artifact Hub inside the registry index. Those version 1.1 and 1.2 will exist for some period of time, looking at about a 3-month double writing period. Um, and then at the end of that period, when we decide to go, flip the switch and make Artifact Hub the only source of data, then any packages in the registry index that do not exist in Artifact Hub will be deleted. So this will delete like, old stuff that hasn't been touched in years. Um, people maybe doing experiments, whatever. So there is, this migration will be destructive um, in so much as if you do not migrate to Artifact Hub, it will be deleted. Now it's in Git, we can bring it back if there's some kind of extenuating circumstance, but I don't foresee that happening.
Why are we deleting it?
Because we are using this migration as an opportunity to uh, kind of clean up the registry index.
But who will be using the registry index, I guess,
So
after
the re
migration?
oh, so platforms will continue using the registry index. So I'm not changing anything about um, the registry spec, the CNB registry spec. That all stays exactly the same. This work, the purpose is to remove the publishing capabilities of the registry index so that we're not maintaining this bespoke publishing process. And it's also to remove our kind of build pack search tool, registries.buildpacks.io or registry.buildpacks.io. That's like the kind of UI for searching build packs. That is going away, and all the infrastructure necessary for maintaining that will be decommissioned. So this is really about moving discovery and publishing to Artifact Hub so that we don't maintain that. But the registry index will be it will be exporting data from Artifact Hub, getting all the build pack information from Artifact Hub. So the
How,
platforms do not change at all.
how is that getting synced?
There will be a GitHub action that is running on some kind of a cadence. The Artifact Hub tracks packages on a 30-minute cadence. So I presume that we would do the same and track Artifact Hub at a 30-minute cadence. Um, this means that by the time a
I
build pack
assume
gets,
you probably want it lower than 30 minutes if so you don't miss the cycle thing of when it kicks, right?
that would be helpful. Yeah, if we bump it down lower, I'm totally fine with that.
There's like one no op cycle in the thing, and then there's like another that actually hits it. Versus, I guess if you miss the cycle, then you're actually like 60 minutes behind or
Correct.
whatever.
Yes, correct. You're absolutely right. Yeah, that the actual cadence, we haven't necessarily defined that value yet. Um, but yeah, if we do a faster cadence, that should be fine. We've got we'll have e tags from Artifact Hub, so that can be an efficient operation, even if it runs every 5 minutes or less than that.
And we can't migrate packages from the index to Artifact Hub, right? Because people have to own and create accounts.
That's correct. There, there is like we could, um, but it gets kind of weird with the ownership mechanism, um, and for people to like claim ownership. So, like I guess if we take a step back, just talking about the Artifact Hub kind of publishing mechanism, the way it works is that you establish a Git repository, like me as the build pack author, for instance. I would establish a Git repository that's going to have all the package data in it. I'm going to own this Git repository because I'm publishing my stuff in there. When I put these metadata files into this repository, um, and then I set up a concept of a repository in Artifact Hub, Artifact Hub is going to begin tracking my repository. So it's going to be, firing every 30 minutes. It's going to look at my Git repository and it is going to pull out the metadata files and create those records in the Artifact Hub database to make those discoverable from the API. So there is a world where, CNB could create repositories on account of build pack authors, but it would be pointed to a Git repository that CNB owns, um, and in order for somebody to claim ownership, um, there would be, because there would be more effort of um, just coordinating, removing those packages from the CNB registry and having the authors create those. And another reason that we're not planning on going that route is again because it's an opportunity for us to clean up the registry index and get rid of old stuff. Um, it I don't think we would want to just take everything. It might be a confusing signal as well to customers. If there's a build pack that CNB owns in Artifact Hub, does that mean that it's guaranteed to some degree by the CNB project? That's kind of the reasoning by why we don't want to kind of just take everything.
Uh, I suspect we probably want, I think 3 months is probably too short
You think
for
it's
that
too
period.
short? Yeah,
Mostly just like who's gonna notice kind of thing.
you're absolutely right.
I think we probably also need a brownout period,
Mm, I like that. I like that a lot.
uh, where maybe we figure out a way to do that, and then yeah, so people do notice who aren't paying attention.
Yes.
I'm sure all helpful things during the RFC that I did not provide.
All good. Yeah, I really like the idea of a brownout period.
Um, and then for the stuff that do we have you done any data analysis on the stuff that isn't owned by Roku and Paketo in the registry? And if they went through, I think there's a thing we probably could do as part of the migration, like people who aren't using bots, essentially. Like if they actually went through the browser, it means they published it under their GitHub handle. And so I think there's part of the migration where we could maybe tag them somehow.
And it does look like all of those issues are going to be created by the build pack author. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, I understand what you mean. Like a Paketo bot.
So because
Yeah,
part of it's just like how do you reach
that's
out to these
right.
people, right? And so like
That's right.
obviously the Keto Heroku folks we have like we know how to get in contact with them. They've been involved,
Uh-huh.
like all the way. And then there's probably I don't know, maybe there's a subsection of people that are also publishing things in an automated fashion. But anyone who's using the register command, uh, I suspect didn't invest enough in doing an automated
Yeah.
pipeline. And the benefit from that is we actually have a way to get a hold of them via GitHub.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so maybe we can also tag them in the
Totally.
migration somehow to kind of notify them about the stuff or something along those lines. I don't know if that's like an issue or discussion or something, but
Yeah.
uh, I think we can look at what hasn't been migrated potentially
Hmm.
and see kind of that diff there. And if we have their handles from the issues, maybe we can
Yeah.
essentially like notify them in some way because we know how to get a hold of them.
Yeah. That totally makes sense. It's a good idea.
And if they don't do anything, then we've at least tried to talk
Yeah.
to them,
Yep.
We've done the outreach we can.
Yeah. Yeah, and I'm open if there's other things that pop up too, after this meeting. Please feel free to. Yes, we got this Slack channel. Please feel free to drop anything in there.
Cool. When are you working on this?
Yeah, so I'm going to make sure I get conversation going with the Heroku and Paketo folks in here. But basically, like we are ready to go. I'm hoping I can start work on this fairly soon. I think we got what is our next sprint planning? I think we got like sprint planning next week, maybe the following. So like, I've got some work to do over on the Heroku side, but I'm going to make some work items as well, so that we can make sure that I can carve out some time. My manager knows what's going on the Heroku side. But basically, um, we're there are no blockers at this point for us to start the work.
Nice. And you've been
Yeah,
talking to the Artifact Hub folks as well, I assume.
I have, and I've got some proofs of concept out there. I would like to get like an Artifact Hub fork that's a little bit more accessible for other people developing this. I know there is an Artifact Hub staging environment, but I don't think we would have as much control. I don't know exactly how they like to deploy things out to their staging environment. So ideally, I'd like to have like a complete Artifact Hub instance going so that we can test against that. That's basically as
How
fully featured
how
as
do
it
you
can
get
be.
how do you get an icon on their page?
Um, where?
Just artifacthub.io.
So there is work to support like whatever package type or
Yep.
artifact kind. So it would be part of it would be in code. Like it's not a config thing. Are you talking about that list where it shows all the user or all the projects
Package
inside
types. Yeah.
Artifact Hub? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'd be part of the PR. And I realize now that we're talking that I was going through cleaning up some of my personal things in Heroku. I had one instance of Artifact Hub running in Heroku, but I think I probably nuked that the other day.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. I don't know if I have anything else on this.
Yeah, well, like I said, I would love your input on this. Especially now that we're kind of getting closer to the metal, actually getting into doing the work. I don't want you to feel like you have to add this as another thing on your plate. But if you have any suggestions or input, please let me know.
Yep. Cool. Sounds good. Thanks for working on
Yeah,
this.
yeah, absolutely. Cool. All righty, man. Well, you have a great rest of the day.
You too.
All right, talk to you later.